What up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of Talk Your Shift, presented by RggiTV. Of course, you know I got my brother Big Lou with me. Say what's up, Big Lou.
Yo, what's good up? What's good, people? Hello. Welcome back. Happy to be with y'all. Ready for another one. Let's go.
Let's get into it. So we were on the eve, almost on the eve of the conference championship weekend, championship Sunday. That's always an exciting thing, but I wanted to recap our records from last week's divisional round. So that's where I'm going to start right now. I'm coming in with a record of 3-4 from last week, and you coming in with a record of 2-2 from last week. And we're going to briefly go over what those were. Of course, I had the Commanders, I had them winning. I had the Eagles winning. I had the Ravens winning. And I also had, of course, the Chiefs winning. And we all know the one that did lose out of those three was the Ravens game. And Lou, of course, being 2-2, he had the Commanders along with me. I believe he had the Ravens along with me. Of course, he had the Chiefs. And no, you picked the Rams over the
I picked
Eagles.
the
That's
Rams over
correct.
the Eagles, but I think that yeah, exactly.
I think it was the Rams over the Eagles. So that it gave Lou a record of 2-2 from the divisional round. But what I wanted to talk about real quick is your biggest surprise from the divisional round. Two-part question: your biggest surprise and your biggest upset from the weekend, from this past weekend. So I'm gonna throw it over to you. What you got?
Well, I would say my biggest. Well, actually, there was a few surprises. I mean, it was a great weekend
I
of
want the
football.
biggest one. I want the biggest one now.
And I know you want the biggest one. It was a bunch of surprises. But if I had to think about which one was the biggest surprise to me, is really, to tell you the truth, I knew for sure once the game got started and the Rams were going back and forth, you know, with the Eagles, that they would be able to beat those guys. I knew they were
Right,
going to beat them. Like I'm like, they're going toe to toe. Kyron Williams is playing like he sending a message to Saquon Barkley, like, I'm just as
right.
good. You know what I mean? But man, you brought up a great point. That goddamn cold.
Yeah,
That cold got him, man. But
it took
and I
over.
had no idea that it was gonna hit him like that. So I was a little shocked that they folded when they did, when I just knew for sure that they were going blow for blow and that they could beat the Eagles. I was really surprised that the Rams kind of like laid an egg like that, man. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah,
just really surprised that they ended the game like that. All of the fumbling, you know what I mean? Uh, and again, I know the ball is really, really hard, at that point, when it's
right.
snowing and things like that, uh, your fingers are frozen. But man, the other team, even though they're from a cold weather place, they got to deal with the same thing. You know what I
Got
mean?
to deal with the same thing.
So,
Yeah.
and you guys are professionals. It's not like you haven't played in these climates, and all of you guys are first time players. So, there's really no excuses in that area, if you ask me. I was really shocked that them
Yeah.
dudes lost the game, man. So that was my biggest surprise.
I mean, before you jump into your biggest upset, just a rebuttal on that. That's kind of basically what I didn't honestly I didn't think that they would have that much of a fight early on. So they did shock me. They were a little surprising that it was a little toe to toe at first. But I kind of knew that it would be overwhelming to do it for 4 quarters, and I think that that's what ultimately kind of happened there. I just think overall they couldn't match that same intensity for the 4 quarters. And I think that's what ultimately, the Eagles kind of ran away with it. But definitely one of the biggest upset because I do think that even though it was a home game and there was favorites, on paper, I do think that they could hang with them, and then they kind of showed that initially, so it kind of shocked everybody a little bit. So I definitely see that. But hey, let me hear what your biggest upset is.
Man, my biggest upset for sure was the Lions and the Washington Commanders, man. I had no
Right.
idea, man. Now we knew that the Lions weren't, but hey, guess what? I didn't know Montgomery was coming back. I thought these dudes was almost pretty much like full strength, because when you lose him, you're losing a whole lot. But I didn't get these dudes no passes when I suit that dude suited up. You know what I mean? So it's like y'all ain't got no excuses. Every team, but them dudes, man. Washington is real, man. I said Jaden Daniels, that dude is real, but had no idea, really, to tell you the truth, that these dudes will put up 45 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was just, man, so crazy to me. It was an upset because I think um, the Lions were, I mean, for the most part, one of the favorites to possibly win the Super Bowl this season. You know, so
Yeah.
the way that they kind of fizzled out or whatever, I was a little shocked. And I wasn't sure that Washington really was, you know, that team this year. But really, to tell you the truth,
Okay,
I was
so I
wrong
gotta
for those.
stop you though. I gotta stop you. You picked the Washington Commanders, bro. You picked them.
Yeah, I understand that I picked them, but I didn't think that, I thought it would be a game. I thought it'd be a game like the Rams game, you know, and the Eagles. They kind of
Okay.
dominated those dudes. You know what
I
I
see
mean?
what you're saying.
They
I see
kind
what
of
you're saying.
ran
So
them.
that's it's upsetting the way that they handled the
The
team.
way
You're
that they
saying the
handled
way
it.
that okay.
So yeah, I thought that that was an upset for me because Detroit, even though I wasn't picking them, I was going for the underdog in my head. You know what I mean?
Right.
And in my
I feel what
opinion,
you're saying.
I believe that Washington was the underdog, and I think most people would
I get
probably
that.
probably say that.
No,
I was
we would all agree on that.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. So that really that was what I'm saying. Go ahead.
No, I think that's a good point though, because even though just so people understand, just because you pick a winner or a loser, it doesn't necessarily mean that you felt that they were going to be able to win in a certain way or dominate in a certain way. So that's understandable for them to be your biggest upset level. So I just wanted to make sure I clarified.
Okay,
You picked them, right? But,
definitely,
so
I
just
know I
real
picked.
brief, mine's is not really that deep. The biggest surprise to me, even though I picked them, was the Commanders. I think it's kind of for a similar reason. They look great. They looked confident. They looked poised. They look like they've been there before. They look like they are supposed to be in the conference championship. You know what I mean? So, and that was surprising to me because I like when I made my picks last week. It was really a heartfelt, emotional kind of really just seeing how they performed against my team, and then kind of taking that and extrapolating that to going over out into Detroit and doing that indoors on another road game. So that was a big deal for me. But like you said, honestly, the way that they did that, I mean, I know that was your upset, but that's going to be my surprise, and it's kind of like the same reason.
Right. Okay.
Like, man, I did not expect y'all to do it like this. I expected y'all to win like on a nail biter, like y'all beat us on the
Right.
field
Right.
goal. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, 29, 27. You know what I mean? That kind of score. I ain't like you said,
Even though
45.
you picked
Like,
them, even though you picked them, right? Right.
even though I picked them, but again, that's what the way that they won is that was very surprising. So I'm gonna keep that one real short and sweet because I mean, like I said, I'm not talking about the other games, and my biggest upset has got to be the Ravens. I mean, it's just the way that it happened. The fumbles, the Mark Andrews play. It's just the fumble in the middle of the field where they driving almost hurt to me more
Oh
than
boy.
the touchdown, the 2 point conversion that he dropped in the end zone. I don't know which one hurt worse because I felt like that they were driving to score a touchdown. They were gonna go up and go ahead when he fumbled in the middle of the field like
Right.
that. They were moving it all the way on him down the field,
Hmm.
and they just gave up everything, all the momentum, everything was done after that. And even though Lamar and his greatness and everything that they did, they still had a chance. And it turns out the same guy. I mean, I feel terrible for Mark, but I'm also pissed off, bro.
Right.
I feel like you gotta catch it. He gave it to you in the most in that kind of way. He gave it to you the best way he could give it to you. It wasn't a sharp pass at your face. It wasn't like you had to dive for it. It wasn't one of those things where it's behind you. He threw it so you could literally just catch it and fall back. Just the easy, just catch it and fall into the end zone. You don't have to worry about your feet. You don't have to do anything. He threw it. He didn't. He took gas off of the throw, so it wasn't a hard throw in that kind of colder weather. It's like he did all the things. He did it.
Right.
He gave it to you. He put it right there,
So
and you just let him down. You know what I mean? And I feel bad for Mark, but like I said, on the other side of the coin, you're a professional. You got to catch it. I know I'm sitting on the couch, Monday morning quarterback. I know I'm not doing it, but I also didn't sign up to be a tight end for the Baltimore Ravens.
Right. So look, I
You
wanted
just
to
got to make.
get your thoughts on something. Do you think in the area of upset? You know, because if I pick that game, I would say the reason why I didn't think the Bills upset them is because I didn't feel like the Bills won the game. I feel like the Ravens lost the game. And so when I say upset, y'all didn't really win. Y'all just kind of lucked out, you know what I mean, into a win. You know what I mean? So upset almost makes me feel like you were the victor at the end. You know what I mean? But you
Right,
guys were just kind of fortunate it like a doink or somebody missing a field goal. You know what I mean? And
right.
so that was maybe why that was not my biggest upset.
I get
But
that logic,
you know what I
though.
mean?
Yeah.
What was your yeah?
No, I get that logic. I guess what I was thinking about, because again, I knew it was going to be a close game. I didn't expect it to be upset like the Ravens. I expected them to blow them out, and then it was the Bills won. That's an upset. Like, not to that extent. More so about being upset about the way they closed the game. It's upsetting how you are not allowed to go to the conference championship by these efforts.
Right,
That's upsetting.
right,
To
right,
close out your season that way is very upsetting. It's very disappointing to me.
right,
I'm not even a Ravens fan. I can only imagine. And I lost off a doink field goal that bounced in.
right,
Imagine me being more upset about this, and it's not even my team.
right. Yeah,
That's why it's upsetting to me. It's just like I can't even imagine how the Baltimore Ravens fans feel right now losing that way. Not like that. Not by one of the best tight ends in the game.
but they're still going through it right now. Believe it.
And that's gonna be until they get some more wins next year. They're gonna go through it all offseason. That's gonna hurt all
But yeah,
year
believe it.
long.
Yeah, you believe it.
But it's just not a rookie tight end. This is not a guy who's 18th in the league. Like the Mark Andrews is top 5.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, real talk. There's no excuse. And it's just frustrating, bro. So, like I said, that kind of closes us out a little bit on that divisional round, the hurts and the pains, and end up with our record of 2-2 for Lou, and I'm gonna go in that record with 3-1. So we gonna shift gears here, move on to Championship Sunday. We got Chiefs,
Bills,
Bills.
and then
Yep,
we
and this
also
is
have Eagles
is this
Commanders.
this is Bills at Chiefs, correct?
Bills at
Chiefs had the
Chiefs,
better record. The
Commanders at
Bills at
Eagles.
Chiefs
Commanders
and
at Eagles.
Commanders at Eagles. Starting out in the AFC, because I want to talk about the Chiefs first and the Bills first to get them out of the way. I'm sick of seeing these two motherfuckers. I wish both of them could lose. I wish the Super Bowl was the Washington Commanders and the goddamn Philadelphia Eagles. I don't like Philly either. But I'd rather them be in the Super Bowl with the Commanders than seeing either one of these two bastards. Like, they've been helped along the way the entire year. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You got help all year long. Both of yous. Okay? Just like I was talking about my rant with the Chiefs last year with the Kelsey brothers and the Taylor Swift. The Bills don't got that. They got the Bills Mafia and all that stuff. I don't care. It's good old boy Josh and making sure that he's propped up. Period. Just like I've said all throughout the playoffs, they ain't gonna let them lose. They want to get these two bastards in the same game, and that way they get one of their golden boys to go. We're gonna get one.
Right,
It's guaranteed to get one. If they lose to Lamar, you might not get neither.
right,
I don't know if the NFL. I don't know if the NFL is ready for that. I don't know if they want to get down like that. And that's just my opinion. I know that some people going Kansas City fans or Bills fans gonna feel some kind of way. And please, man, I can give a fuck. Okay,
I agree.
I'm dead ass serious. I'm sick of y'all, man. I'm sick of this propping up and making sure people in it. Like every year in the conference championship nonsense, one of the two, man. Like it's overwhelming. But again, I'm picking the goddamn Chiefs.
You rolling with the Chiefs.
I'm
Okay.
going with the Chiefs.
Well,
Going with the Chiefs. I know that I feel like the Golden Boy ish era with Josh Allen is here and all that, and I know that they're gonna want to prop him up and get him an MVP. I think Mahomes is gonna spoil it. That's what I think. I
Well,
think he's just good enough to ruin the NFL's plans. You see what I'm saying? They may have their own plan about what they want for Josh. I don't think Patrick gives a fuck.
right.
That's why I'm picking the Chiefs.
You know
What you
what?
got?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of throwing that really upside down. I think more so that Patrick Mahomes is the golden boy. You know what I mean? I think he is, and I understand. I think Josh has been making his case, and slowly inching towards, whatever. But I mean, so is everybody else. You know what I mean? That come up short, second and third, or whatever the case may be. You got four teams that make it. You know what I mean? All of those people knocking on the door. Jalen is knocking on the door with the Eagles, but guess what? Last year they folded. Everybody thought that they were. I mean, 10 wins straight,
Right.
and then they just lost like six in a row. You know what I mean? And I think that they're playing this
Mhm.
year because of what happened to them last year, that they're in the situation that they're in this year because they remember. So I think that Patrick Mahomes is the league's golden boy. I think that they want to see this dude um, be in the conversation with Tom Brady more because Josh Allen will never be in the conversation with Tom Brady, if you ask me.
Right.
But Patrick
I get
Mahomes
that.
is, there's always going to be that. And if he wins one more, then he's definitely going to build up that conversation again on will he surpass, Tom Brady? Because everybody trying to, going to be compared to him who is the GOAT. And even though I cannot stand saying that, I almost want to burn my own lips off for even letting that come out of my mouth. You know what I mean? But how can I go against Tom Brady with what he did for so many years? So the conversation between those two makes me believe that Mahomes is more of the golden boy. And I believe Josh now is really ready to to take the mantle, mainly because of the pieces that they have, the way that they're gelling. I know Patrick has all of his, I don't know what's going on with Travis Kelsey. I don't know if he's hurt. I know he had,
He gonna play.
I mean, he's going to
I don't
play,
believe none of that.
but
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that the
He be
weapons
acting
are
like he
pretty much
hurt and then and yeah, he be acting like he hurt and then he'll still come out there and have 9 catches for a buck
pulling the
22.
Paul
You know what I
Pierce. He's
mean?
pulling the Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. I'm not I don't believe none of it.
got it. Okay, all right. So yeah, but anyway, and I'm picking the Bills. In
Okay.
this week, I think that there's going to be a nail biter. I think it's going to be close, but I think the Bills have enough, and they're clicking on all cylinders to the point where I think that they can actually pull it out. So yeah, my pick this week
I like
is
that.
going to be the Bills.
Yeah, I like that we kind of have some different options on that to look forward to. But for your point, I agree with you when you talk about Patrick Mahomes being the golden boy for the NFL. What my point was, I think that the NFL wants Josh Allen to be propelled.
Okay.
That's what my point is. I
Okay.
think Patrick is taking things. I think the Chiefs were so good that he took that golden boy mantle, and then now you got the Swifties involved, and now you got all the Kelsey brothers and their podcasts and all that stuff to go along with the fanfare, and it made for ratings for the NFL. The NFL ain't crazy. They ain't gonna try to downplay a team and a player that's shown to and known to prove that he's great and the teams are great.
Mhm.
So I get what you mean. Like you're right about him actually being the golden boy, but I think that the NFL wants a different look. I think they want to propel a Josh Allen look up to be elite.
Okay.
He ain't won nothing yet to be, but I think they still put him up on that pedestal. They
Mhm.
always want to have him in a conversation when you
Right.
talk about Patrick. And why would he even be in the conversation?
Right. I do
What
see the
for?
push for him to be one of the more elite quarterbacks in the league. He puts up the numbers. I mean, he's a good quarterback.
What I'm talking about, what I'm saying, I'm talking about his wins though. I'm talking about when you talk about being in the same conversation with Patrick. You got to win chips,
You got to win chips.
or at least get one.
You got to win chips. Yep, that's
You
very
know, at
true.
least have one of them.
That's true.
So and they make sure they put Lamar at a lower tier because he ain't got one. They guarantee to make sure they let you know that.
But why?
But they put Josh right up there with Patrick
Why?
as if he didn't did something already.
He hasn't done anything.
But that's my point. That's why I think the NFL has an initiative for him to be propelled. And that was the reason why I felt like even though I believe that your pick is a good pick because of that point, I just think that Patrick is too good. And I think he's going to take their story away from them.
Yeah, and you always got to have. I mean, after, I really think it was one of those things where Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are more on the same level. Patrick is a step above, and either one of those guys, it would have been a different scenario, but I think it would have been the same thing if Lamar went and whatever the case may be, that, it would have been his time to like really kind of like take the mantle. But he is kind of like a 2A and a 2B with Josh Allen and Lamar. You know what I mean? And so,
And not the NFL. We believe that, not the NFL doesn't. And that's what my point is.
yeah,
I think the NFL thinks Josh Allen is 1B.
hell no.
I believe so. And they treat him as such. And they
True.
treat him as such with all they give him all the same calls that Patrick gets. Lamar don't get those calls.
No, they don't. But
Period, point blank.
we already know what all that's about.
But yeah, but that's my point. And I feel like that I think Patrick is, in a sense, his talent, the team that he has around him, his coaching staff, his scheme, takes the NFL's story away. Just good. You're just good. You know what I
I
mean?
got you on.
But I get that. That's good points. Good dialogue. So we can definitely go jump into this last topic, this last game, which is going to be which is an exciting game for me, honestly. The Commanders at Eagles. I'm excited, man. Not just for the whole two black quarterback thing, and of course, one of them gonna have to lose, so one of them got to go home. You know what I mean? But I just like the matchup of the mobile quarterbacks that can throw it, that are accurate, that break the narrative. They not just they'll kill you with their legs, but they'll kill you with their arm. They'll kill you with the accuracy when they're on point. You know what I mean? They'll kill you with the completion percentage when they're slinging it the way they're supposed to be. And I think that the offenses and the schemes and the pressure that they're going to put on both of those defenses is going to be exciting for me to see. This is one of those things where I'm really going with my emotion because it's really a close game to me as far as the offensive. Not necessarily the defense. I feel like both defenses are kind of midway. But the offenses excite me. And I am on the goddamn train for the kid. I'm in that bitch. I'm on it. Okay. I don't care what nobody want to say. I'm on that motherfucker.
Right?
And I think he's gonna do it again. I think he's gonna go to Philly and shock the damn world. I do. I believe in him. I like the kid. I like his demeanor. I like his attitude. I like the trust that his coaching staff have in a young guy like that, man. They really know that he's that guy, believe he's that guy. You see what I'm saying? They treat him as such.
Right?
It's no babying. They don't baby him. You know how for so many years with these rookie quarterbacks, they get him into the league and they get to the play. They got a good defense and they get to the playoffs and they just don't trust him. So they call plays that protect him and don't let him let loose and don't let him throw it like that. Him. They let him go. They don't give a fuck. And I love it though.
He
I
got the
love
green
it.
light for sure.
He do, again, I know it might be a little emotional, and I know Philly's probably a more experienced playoff team. Not probably, they are a more experienced playoff team. They have more experienced playoff players that have been in the playoffs before. They have a quarterback that's been in the playoffs before. I mean, even though Dan Quinn is doing an excellent job with the Commanders, I do think that what's going on in Philly and the expectations have been a lot higher. The Commanders ain't got nothing to lose, man. They're not even supposed to be here, man.
True.
They just coming out playing football, bro, and just seeing what happens. You know what I mean? You win nail biters, you win by 15, 16.
Right.
All on the road, man. I believe in him, bro. I believe in him, and part of that is a little bit on the other end too, not liking Philly. I just don't like their fans. I despise them to a core. I'm almost to the degree of Cowboy fans. Not quite though, but they're goddamn close. They're nasty people. I don't care what they say. They can come in the comments if they want. Nasty people. Okay, I've witnessed them myself. I went to a Bucks game. Side note in Tampa some years ago, like 2010, 12, something like that, and it was playing Philly for the 10-year anniversary of our Super Bowl where we won in 2002. So it was 2012, and they won the game and was still fighting people, bro. They're still spitting on people and doing all kind of nasty, crazy stuff. Like y'all won the game. What
Right.
the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like just I don't like him. I can't stand him. It almost remind me of a side note when the Philly was playing. I think it was Philly that was playing the Packers, and the Philly fan was talking crazy to the lady Packer fan, calling her all her name and all kind of CUNTs and just
Right.
stupid and idiot. Like what are you what for?
Wow.
She's at the game with her dude, not even talking to you. She's talking to somebody else about what's going on in the game. It just again that just speaks to the character of a lot of the individuals. Now I know not all Philly fans are not like that. Again, come in the comments if you want to, but I'm saying most of y'all be nasty, bro, and that's why I hope y'all lose. And I do believe in the Commanders. It's more so believing in the Commanders than my dislike for the fan base of Philly.
Right.
But
Okay.
I'm gonna
I
end it
hear
right
you
there.
on that.
Who you got?
So me, man, this is it's crazy that we've kind of the way we saw it. So let me start with this. I'm on that train with you, man. I'm on that train with you because I think that kid is real, and
Right.
I see Washington as like the team that I believe that the Packers could potentially be this year, minus the injuries. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A team that's just young, they just play, they just don't know no better. You know what I mean?
Right.
And when you don't have any, pressure on you because you know that there was expectations that you never knew that you would be there in the beginning of the season. You know what I mean? Nobody would have said that Washington would be in the conversation. Not even their own fans. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not at this point in the season. So
Nah, it's right. That's
but
good.
I'm on that train, bro. That kid is real. You know what I mean? I think that their team has this cohesive little unit or whatever, that they believe in each other or whatever the case may be. And again, they're professionals just like everybody else. So once you get a group of men together and they really, really believe and they believe in a system and whatever, they can beat anybody. Why not?
Yeah, anybody can lose.
Anybody
Yeah,
can lose.
that's right.
You got the coaches, you know what I mean? Which is the reason why I felt like, just going back, Dan Quinn was able to beat the coach from Detroit, you know, because he was able to, as a coach, match his energy. And not too many people could match Detroit's coach energy, but Dan Quinn could.
Right.
And I think the same
Yeah, he
thing.
got that fire.
And I think
He
the
got that
same thing in
fire.
this case. Again, I
Yeah.
think that they're going into this in this round as underdogs again. I think that they're still going into the Eagles territory as underdogs. You know what I mean? But and I want them to win, but I don't think they will. So I'm going with the Eagles because I'm going with the team as if I was putting money on somebody. And I wouldn't put
I
no
get
money
that.
on Washington this week. I just wouldn't put my money on them. Do I want them?
Yeah.
Yes. But do I want to put my money on them? Hell no, not this week. You know what I mean? You know,
You said hell no.
so I just think Jalen, Saquon, I think it's going to take a team that is experienced to go with either one of the teams that's in the AFC. So
Right.
for me, the Bills nor the Chiefs is going for that Washington boy. You understand what I'm trying to say? I just think it's over
Yeah, I
at
get
that
that.
point. You know what I mean? Even though I'm going for him, I'm cheering for him, I'm whatever. You just ain't you out of your league now, almost at one point. You know what I mean? Where I don't want it to be a
That's fair.
massacre. I'm proud of y'all, how far y'all gone, but I believe the Eagles are going to be a better matchup for either one of the teams on whatever. And I think they're going to take care of business with Washington as well, even though the Washington is the team that I want to see prevail because I really don't want to see the Eagles. And you know what? Because they beat me. You know what I mean? You know?
I get that. I mean, even though the Commanders beat me, but I feel what you're saying. I
Yeah.
feel what you're saying, and it's logic. It's nothing illogical about about your case. I wouldn't disagree. I wouldn't be upset about. I wouldn't be totally shocked if Philly won. It wouldn't be like, oh my God, I
Right?
can't believe that. You know, so I totally get that. You know what I mean? So I like this week. We are on opposing sides for both
Both
games.
games.
It's gonna be fun to see what unfolds. You know, and like I said, you make a good point about that matchup in the Super Bowl, which I know we'll get to next week, or probably have a little intermission week since we'll get a couple weeks off from that, and chat about something else. But we definitely want to have that conversation for Super Bowl weekend. And you're right, Philly might be a better matchup. But even still with that, I want the kid to get there. I honestly feel like even if Philly gets there or the Commanders get there, the NFL ain't letting either one of the Bills or the Chiefs lose. So they're gonna win regardless of who the fuck showed up. It don't really matter. I don't give a fuck. It's gonna be a better matchup.
It's
The
a good
NFL
point,
ain't
though. It's a
happy.
good point. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. So my Super Bowl would be the kid making it, man, and getting to have that fanfare and getting to just be a part of that. That's my Super Bowl because nigga, you ain't winning, and neither is Jalen. Sorry, not with those two teams that's remaining.
Right,
Nah,
right, right.
it'd be different if the Ravens was in it and they had a chance to make it. Maybe you see what I'm saying. Then we talking a different conversation. But with those two options, one of those two going there, we getting the ring.
Yeah, so.
And I'll tell you about that pick next week. Hey y'all, I appreciate y'all, man.
All right,
Thanks for
everybody.
tuning in
Good
to
to see
another
y'all.
episode. Talk Your Shift, presented by RggiTV, man. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Keep coming back, checking us out. Hit that subscribe button. We love it, man. We out.
Take care.